The US is the one country that has genuine influence over Israel. But, all through the conflict in Gaza, Israel has decided to overlook a significant part of the guidance of its nearest partner. The US government says its help for the conflict against Hamas is ironclad. However, it has more than once raised worries about the disappointment of the Israeli armed force to safeguard regular citizens and the absence of compassionate access stood to individuals of Gaza. For 7 long months, the US has bit by bit moved forward tension on Israel. It has prompted secretly. It has cautioned freely. It has quit rejecting critical goals at the assembled countries. It has authorized Israeli pioneers in the involved West Bank. In an especially powerful call a month prior, President Joe Biden told top state leader Benjamin Netanyahu he would diminish US support on the off chance that Israel didn't permit armadas of help trucks to cross the line into Gaza. But, a lot of this direction and wheedling has failed to be noticed. So presently the US is starting to use its greatest stick. The US is by a wide margin Israel's greatest wellspring of weapons and ammo. By regulation, it furnishes Israel with $3.8 billion, £3 billion, of military guide every year, intended to give the country a benefit over adjoining nations. The US Congress last month passed a bill giving a further $14 billion of military help. Presently the Biden organization has interestingly postponed a shipment of weapons to Israel. A senior organization official affirmed to the BBC that the conveyance of thousands of £2,000 and different bombs has been stopped. The authority said they were likewise assessing different weapons deals, including gear that assists convert with liberating falling bombs into accuracy-directed weapons. So for what reason is the US at long last going after maybe its greatest switch of impact over Israel? A first response is the proposed military activity against Hamas in Rafah. The US and numerous Western nations dread this would prompt mass non-military personnel losses and a helpful calamity. US authorities say the bombs they have postponed are the sort that may be utilized in Rafah and would have decimating results in thick metropolitan settings. The US doesn't believe Israel should go after Rafah, and this is one more approach to supporting that message. One US official told the Washington Post this was a shot across the bow to show Israel the earnestness of US concerns. A subsequent response is the US government's craving to keep up with strain on Israel's bureau to help a truce manage Hamas. Dealings go on in Cairo, and Washington might need to build the costs that Israel might look for neglecting to concur or split the difference. A third explanation is unquestionably homegrown US governmental issues. President Biden is going under tremendous strain from popularity-based allies to treat his help for Israel. It is political decision year in the US, and assessment surveyors are proposing that a few leftists, particularly more youthful individuals, might be hesitant to emerge and decide in favor of Mr. Biden in November due to the US job in the conflict in Gaza. Low turnout could hit him hard in his fight with Donald Trump. Any choice to keep military help for Israel accompanies gambles for the US. Yet again, Israel could essentially disregard what its partner was talking about and doing. It could actually challenge Washington's false front and trust that US military help would go on in the long haul.